Hey guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman YouTube channel, the Hunter Collective. Today we've got Mark in the chair, and Mark has told me two things. We had a little chat on the couch. He's told me two things. He's going away, so it's his holiday / vacation haircut. And he's also seen his girlfriend, who he hasn't seen for 2 months. So I'm under a little bit of pressure here that I don't get a little snidey text off her saying, what have you done? So we had a consultation earlier, and Mark usually goes for short enough on the back and side so he doesn't see scalp exposure. Makes sense. And then just a really kind of messy haircut on top, very kind of, just natural bedheady kind of style. So I thought we could kind of play on that a little bit. So in terms of scalp exposure and how we find out what length to go to for that, I generally work with the clients. So today I'll be asking Mark, what length will that work to. So when you've had a haircut in the past, has it ever been too short to where you see scalp?
Yes.
And do you remember what that length was? Do you remember what number they went down to?
No, but usually I go to a 4 and that's...
Goes to 4, and that works for you, yeah?
Yeah.
You like the 4. Okay, there we go. So again, if he's happy with something, there might be certain elements of his haircut that he might not be happy with, but as long as he's happy with the 4, I'll stick to the 4, because I know that way he's going to be super happy with that. Again, when we talk about scalp exposure as well, I'm not going to do too much of a severe kind of fade on the neck or taper. Again, there's no point in showing a really kind of high tapered neck if he doesn't want to see scalp. So I'm going to keep that taper really low and keep it as natural as possible. Still have a lot of edging in there and make it look very neat, but I don't want to take that too high at the bottom as well. Another sort of way I asked you about problem areas, didn't I? Where do you find the problem areas? And you said it's the way you find your hair grows out and it makes your head look very big. Now, again, I'll turn Mark to Liam. So, as you can see, it just looks very round and very big here. Now, there could be a few reasons for that. It can be either the way the haircut is kind of grown out in terms of what he got done last time. So maybe there might be elements of this haircut it doesn't need to keep length in the corners, for example. At the minute, I'm seeing a little bit of an overhang here, so that probably isn't going to help. Because as that sits naturally when he's washed his hair and he's dried his hair, if it's cut into an overhang that is maybe cut into a slightly higher pattern or something, as that grows out, it becomes very hard to style. You don't really know where to place the undercut, and then it just starts to fall over, and that can start to kind of make it look very big. You'd agree on that one, Mark?
Yes.
Another thing can be thickness on the back and sides compared to the top. Now, everyone's back and sides generally is thicker. You never lose your hair on the back and sides, or very rarely do you lose your hair on the back and sides. You tend to lose it on the top. So everybody's hair is generally thinner on the top. It doesn't mean that you're going thin, it just means that it's just the density of the hair is a little bit fine, should we say. So that can be another problem as well. But again, it can sometimes be like head shape, so a haircut is not necessarily cut to his head shape. So again, when I wash his hair, I'll be feeling for any little kind of lumps and bumps, and I'll be feeling for how sort of round this head goes and how much it collapses towards the crown and by the opposite of bone as well. So then, they're usually the 3 major factors in why it tends to go out quite big. So I'm going to try and eradicate that for him, because I think at the end of the day, a good haircut should grow out well as well. It shouldn't last you 2 weeks. I always try and aim for 4 or 5 weeks if I can. And generally, I know that's when it's being cut correctly for him, for the individual client. That when it grows out well and they're happy with it. And I get some clients who, they get problem areas like Mark has now, or you get guys who go, I could have lasted another week, didn't even need to come in. So it's quite nice when you hear that, because I know I've done the correct haircut as well. So that's always nice. So what we'll do, I'll talk Mark through different texturizing techniques, because he wants it really messy and he's got a nice little bit of bend, but his hair's quite coarse. It's got kind of a slightly kind of brittly feel to it as well. But again, that curl, we can play with that. We could maybe blow dry a little bit straighter in certain areas. We can play around with this wiry kind of curl if you want to as well. But I just want to give Mark a load of options. I want it to be super versatile, so it doesn't have to look the same every day. And even if he doesn't have time in the morning, say you wake up late and you miss your flight, or you run in to get your flight, it will still look all right. And that's what I'm trying to aim for Mark today. So we'll give it a wash, we'll give it a condition, and then we'll talk through length and everything on top as well when we get to it. So I'm going to dry off the back and sides now, and again, like we discussed with Mark, he's happy with the number 4, so I'll stick with the number 4. So I'm just drying this off. I'm just having a little look how it falls as well. You can see his neck's quite curly down the bottom, so that'll be a nice low taper, will be nice on that. Just tidy it all up. That is big, isn't it, mate? That is, how long overdue is this? Sounds like, I think Liam said June, wasn't it? You got it cut? Was that the last time, or?
Probably, yeah.
Was it?
Beginning of June, so
June, yeah.
8 weeks or so.
I won't mention the beginning of June, mate. Around the first? Was it around that time or?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember, it was that long ago.
There's a little reference to the Barcelona game then.
Yeah,
During the first.
I know, I try to ignore it.
You did well to be kind of shoved me off then, that was very clever that. So I'm going to work on my number 4 guard. I'm not going to put a higher guard on there. I don't tend to work with anything higher than number 4. I just think you might as well do it with the scissors if you're going to go a bit higher. The guards are that wide, they tend to just leave lots of hair through them anyway, so that's why I only tend to wear to number 4 and lower. So close number 4, I put my comb in there and just work it through. And that allows me to get a nice little arch on there. And I'm not going to go too high, I'm going to work up just above the occipital bone at the back. It gives me a lot of room to blend and a lot of room to keep square at the back as well. If I went a bit higher up, I'd be going around the round at the back here, and that would start to kind of give that kind of protrusion at the back and kind of flatness in the crown. So I'm stopping that just before that as well. So that's why it's really good to use that arch, tilt his head forward and use that to kind of give a bit of a slight blend through there as well. Now, the thing with around the ears, especially on a higher guard like a number 4, is that you're going to leave a lot of long bits around the ear, around here, because you can't get the guard in there really. But don't worry about that, because we're going to taper that in using the mini clippers and the comb later. So don't try and get all them hairs. You're going to waste a lot of time. You won't really pick it up with this guard anyway. So just focus when you come to lining or edging the hair out, you should be able to remove all that length by then. So using the big comb and the clipper, I'm going to remove all this pull with clipper over comb. And as I'm working down here, I'm going to start to gradually taper this in as well, freehand. I think putting guards on and working through might not really work with this neckline because it's quite sparse, as you can see from the curls. So I'm going to work a bit of freehand on this to get a nice natural taper in there as well. Go to a half and just remove a little bit of that hair as well. I'm coming down here now just on a taper, and just to remove any of this unwanted hair, make it look a bit neater, a bit tidier. Again, I'm not looking for that real sharp high fade or anything on the neck. I'm just looking to give a really nice natural finish, something that'll grow out well, and something that doesn't show any scalp where it doesn't need to. So to get rid of any of them longer hairs we've left with the number 4. And just turn the clip around and just skimming over it to get rid of any little spiky wiry hairs. Smooth this off. There we go, that's all nicely blended in. I'm going to work on the detail around the ears now and a bit more taper on the neck as well. So I'm going down to my size 5 comb now. A little bit smaller, a little bit easier to get into. I don't want to move to the size 1 comb because it's a bit too short. That goes down to like a 0.5 to a 1. And I'm not looking to try and taper it down too tight. All I want to do is just taper around these edges to expose his hairline. That's all I'm doing. So I'm going to just trim this down a little bit here. Again, I'm not going to do too much detailing. Just want to make it look a little bit tidier, a bit neater. Working with the way the hair grows, so I'm going against that. And I'm bringing this down on the hairline. I'm going down the very bottom with my smaller comb now. With a nice taper on the neck. Working down into that hair. Getting them all them longer bits that we missed.
So Dan, so when you started in Liverpool at Pete?
So yeah, so I had a little chat with my mate Pete, Cutthroat Pete. So a few of you guys know who he is, and we were having a little chat about because I do 3 days a week down here, and you know, we'd always like to work together and stuff. And I'd seen he had a position coming up, and I was quite keen to kind of get back into working with a mate, and we've done a lot of shoots together and things like that, and he's got a really talented team there. So he asked me if I wanted to go and do a couple of days there. So starting on the 2nd of September, so I'll be doing 10 till 5 there, Monday and Wednesday. So yeah, branching out, mate.
For anyone in
Been
Liverpool?
dragged back to Liverpool, haven't I? You know, so.
For anyone in Liverpool?
Anyone in Liverpool wants a haircut, you know where I'm at. Not just London now.
Cuts your hair as well, doesn't he?
And he cuts my hair, mate, as well, yes. So maybe there's a chance, because I know a lot of people seem to like my haircut, which, you know.
Gotta get
Shout
that video.
out to Cutthroat Pete. Do you know what's really funny, actually? You guys have been like saying, "Oh, like you like my hair." I'd love to change my hair. I'd love hair like yours, Liam, mate. But yeah, thanks for everyone liking me hair, mate. It's nice. So maybe we can go up there and get a video of Pete doing my hair. Do you reckon, Liam?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely pop up. Everyone wants it, so.
Well, exactly. I'll show you around my hometown, mate. I'll take you out. Show you the local spots.
Show me the Champions League trophy.
Show you the Champions League. Oh, don't bring that up in front of Mark, mate. Please, come on. If you haven't guessed by now, he's a Barcelona fan, and you know. Something happened on the 1st of June. I can't remember exactly what it was, but
No one knows what happened.
no one knows what happened. No. So, all jokes aside, finished the edging now. Just done affecting the taper as well, so keep it nice and natural, nice and low. Just trying to keep it symmetrical, but not looking like there's too much line or edging going on through there as well. So I'm just going to go over the back and sides, scissor over combs to make sure I've got everything. Sometimes the number 4 can leave long bits, and just to try and make it as perfect as possible, I'm just going to run over just with a little bit of scissor over comb, just to make sure I'm just perfecting that blend and getting any of the little hairs that I may have missed as well. There we go. I'm going to work to the top now. So I'm going to work a mark on this one to see what length you'd like to take off, because again it's been a long time, so it'd be quite nice to see what length you're thinking of taking off. Because I know you like it a bit longer, but do you want to keep a lot of length in here, or do you want to take not a lot short, but do you want to take some length off the top then?
I want to take some length of it, yes.
So you still want to keep it with a bit of length in there though, yeah? Nothing too majorly short.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's just say just for argument's sake, let's have a little look. How about if we took off that much? A bit more than that?
Just a little bit more.
A little bit more? How much size?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Awesome. So that is roughly half the length that we're going to take off today. I'm going to work from the front, I'm going to work to the back, and then connect the crown in. So we'll work point cutting to the top, and taking nice small sections, pulling it straight up and off the head. So no angles, no forward or backwards or anything, just completely straight up. What we'll do, once we've got rid of the length, we'll start doing some really nice texturizing techniques that will really help emphasize a bit of curl, that really natural finish, and also the reworkable kind of, you know, versatile kind of texture as well. So again, no matter how he wakes up in the morning or doesn't wash his hair, if he washes his hair, if he's been in the gym or whatever, we can still get a really nice look through this as well. And then connect on the side. Now there's my guide and there's my guide. Following this round, picking that up, following the shape of his hairline. Got a guide there. I'll put that in as well. As I get back to here, I'm nowhere near the crown, so I'm going to take that section here, as there's quite a lot of length coming over from the crown, and then I'm going to use my vertical section on the side and work back into there. We get a nice connection into number 4 as well. Some nice small sections through here. You see, if you work over it, you'll get some kind of sections that you've done there. So all we do is we just cross-check with a bit of scissor over comb. That blends in very nicely as well. Coming towards the crown now. So I'm cutting it just where the crown is and bringing it straight up because it'll fall really nicely. But it's got that kind of thinner, kind of wavier texture. It won't spike up too much. I'm not going too short. So don't worry about when you lift it up from the crown, just make sure you don't cut it too short, but just keep it even with all the rest of your sections and put it straight up. And then now, go to my vertical section and blend that in. So I'm still maintaining the length. The crown is still sitting very nicely. We're still keeping a bit of shape in there, and there is a little bit, tiny bit more length just through that back bit there as well. And as you see now, nice vertical section, point of reference here, and just bringing that fringe just back to the recession. I always, every time I take a section through the sides, when I'm doing the connection, I always bring the fringe back to the recession point so that I never cut the fringe too short then. So it's always that slight over direction when it comes to this section here, when you're doing the connecting in from the top to the sides. Work literally around the head. Try not to go too up. Just kind of keep working the same pattern all the way through till you match up to the back. One more section, and then I should match up to here as well. And see, there's not much anything to take off. Now I'm going to point cut into the ends a bit more to really break them ends up. I want to really shatter them ends. And looking again, so if you want to wear it messy and kind of smoother with the hairdryer, you're going to have a very kind of choppy end to that. It's going to be nice and natural, nice and messy. So I'm going to do that for that look. Again, we're thinking of versatility here, so I want to have to say, I kind of take the same approach if I was doing somebody who wore it smooth, and then I'm going to take a different approach on if you want to wear a bit more curly. So then I'll slide it through the hair, so they kind of bring out that curl. So as you can see, when you cut into the ends here, have a little look what you're doing. Really breaking the hair up as well. So you've got long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the fringe. I'll bring it down either side. I'm going to find the guide underneath. There's a guide there. Because you can see the ends of his fringe is quite dry, so I'm going to cut that nice and blunt. You will not be able to tell with the texture of his fringe that is being cut blunt. Because with the kind of the finer texture and the dryness to the end will create its own texture, so it will always kind of look natural and messy anyway. You see, you can really start to see that texture coming through there now as well. Cool. So now I'm going to slide cut with this now. So just make sure you really, really wet the hair down when you do any form of slide technique, like slide cut or anything like that. If you do it dry, it's agony. So try and do it so it's a little bit more kind of as wet as you can go without it kind of dripping down into the client's face. So I'm going to use my longer scissor for this. So this is at 6.5, and I'm going to bring it across. And I'm going to slide. So the angle of the hair is coming towards me as I'm on that kind of like angle of kind of in between his ear and his eyebrow. But I'm going to slide across. So I'm not coming with the hair because that's not going to really do anything. I want to come into the hair to kind of cut it. So as it's falling this way, you've got elements of slice coming through the sides as well. So again, just breaking up that hair from when it just falls very natural and very different as well. You slide through. Just before the fringe, you can see there's some hair coming off there. Now, go this way. I'm going to go around and do the same thing. It's coming. So imagine there's an imaginary sort of line between his eyebrow and his ear. That's where you want to bring the hair direction to, and then stand behind and slide through. This is it. Now keep it across like that, and come forwards through the hair. So you're breaking all that texture up in there. So you don't want to overdo this, especially if you've got finer hair. You don't want to kind of make it look like it's too patchy or anything like that at all. So just be careful how many you do. Just do less is more sometimes. It'll create a very good texture. It's really broken. And that is all you really need to do to this. This texture has got that kind of like looser curl through it, slightly finer. That's all you need to do. Very minimal, but you'll see a really good end result from this. Right, so I'm going to try some of your, I know this is still a sample bottle. Yeah, come on Liam, sort it out, mate. I'm going to try a little bit of the Regal Gentleman Salt Spray through this. I think Mark's hair will really benefit from this because it'll give it like a kind of really thick, kind of bring out that dry feel to it as well. It's like a kind of like second day feel. I always find my hair, I don't know about yourself, but my hair is styled so much better the next day. Do you know, if I haven't washed it and stuff, this will give the same effect as that. So just try just spray a little bit of salt spray through there. I'm going to dry it through. So I'm not using the diffuser. I don't want to emphasise the curl too much. I want to just make it as natural as possible for him. So I'm just going to dry it, finger dry, no brush, super easy. Medium speed, high heat. I'm not looking to try and blast this hair straight or anything, I just want to dry it through. I'm just going to work in circles around the head. A little bit up at the front. Try it a bit flatter on the sides. Just run my fingers through it as well. I'm going to twist it as well now, again to create a bit more of a slightly bit more of a messier look. Just try it in any ways as you possibly can to really break that hair up. But even with that salt spray, it's had that kind of thicker, drier feel to it. So you've even got a little bit of shape without any product in it. So you could literally walk out of that and that would look cool. But we will put some product in it because I think we need a bit more hold. So I'm going to get some of the Regal Gentleman Matte Clay. Have you ever used it before?
Not yet.
So again, for anybody, again we look at density of hair products. So when we look at product choice, we look what works. Again, this is kind of your all-rounder. A clay is generally an all-rounder, but it's specifically kind of, for me personally, it works great in your kind of texture hair and also your colour of your hair. So we have touched on the colour of hair before when it comes to product choice, but for anyone with that kind of lighter, with different facets, different tones to the hair. Now, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, Liam, but if you stand where I am, behind Mark, can you see the way he's got like very dark brown, lighter brown, and blonde? Do you see the way he's got that kind of different colour? That's amazing for this kind of textured hair, messy hair. That's why sometimes a little bit of colour. I know this is natural, but sometimes why people do get highlights, like a lot of highlights in the hair, is to kind of break the darkness of the hair up. This guy has probably got what people pay a lot of money for, so well done to you. But what is really good about this is when you put a little bit of a dry product through, it doesn't dampen the darker to make it greasy. It doesn't make the lighter kind of look a bit too oily or anything like that. So what this will do is kind of break up that darker texture, make it look even more messy. So it's kind of helping us with this style as well. So work that product in like so you shampoo in your hair. That's the way I always say it. Just work it all the way through as well. So even through the back and sides, especially when you've got a bit more length through the back and sides, you want it to be coated all over, not just on the top. And then you can just kind of wear however you want. So I'm just going to break it up. Really easy. I know you were saying before you go to the gym and stuff, so I don't want to make something that's going to be so hard for you to do when you get to the gym as well.
Yeah, could be on YouTube.
Now, I am just perfecting it a bit more, but essentially you could have done that in about 10 seconds and it would have looked alright. Is that enough for you? Good? Happy, yeah?
Perfect, yeah.
Cool, man. What's next?
Thank you very much.
Awesome. You're welcome. So, to recap, we had a little chat on the couch, we did a consultation, and Mark was happy with the number 4 back and sides. It's what he likes, what he's happy with. It's just a couple of months overgrown, but it's what he normally goes for, and that's purely because he doesn't want to see scalp when he gets his hair. So we're staying away from any scalp exposure. So number 4 is really good for his hair. And I was asking him a bit earlier on about, what length it goes to when he sees scalp, and he said, well, he gets number 4, and that kind of works for him, so that's why we stuck with that. On the top, we cut it to a length that we worked with Mark, so I asked him how much length do you want off, and we kind of went a bit shorter. It worked out to be about half the length. So you're looking at probably about maybe 1.5 inches in length, give or take. So that's what we cut it down to, so roughly about 1.5 inches. And then we just added a couple of different texturizing techniques in there. And we didn't overload it with texture because it doesn't need to. As you can see, he's got that kind of slightly finer texture. He's got a lot of hair, but it's a very fine texture. And he's got different colours through his hair as well, just probably through a bit of sun bleaching, like natural sun bleaching. But he's got straight hair and he's got wavy hair as well. So it's got its own texture, so you don't need to emphasise on texture. So it'll style itself. So I just done a little bit of point cutting through the ends after we removed the length, and then I've done just a few little bits of slide cutting there as well, just to kind of break up if it's sitting a bit flatter as well. And then we started with a bit of salt spray as we dried that in, so I use that as a base to give it a bit more of a drier feel, to give a bit more texture to the hair again. And then we finished off with a bit of your matte clay, and that just really brought out the style and brought everything else out in it as well. So Mark's happy.
Very happy.
I'm happy. Hope you guys are happy. And yeah, just try and let me know how you get on with it as well. You know, give us a shout in 3 or 4 weeks or a couple of months, whatever. And let me know if it worked for you. All right, man.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.